Yeah, have you heard the record we did with Art Blakey and Bud Powell?
I did, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, he sat in with you guys.
Yeah,
right?
but Walter Davis was playing and saw Bud sitting in the audience and said,
Right.
come on. And Bud didn't want to, but Walter Davis insisted, and they got Bud up there, and it was recorded.
It was a beautiful
I
moment.
didn't know it was going to be a record, but
That ended up coming out on Blue Note Records, I think, as well, didn't it?
I have one. It's on Toshiba.
Now, was Lee Morgan in the band at that time?
Was it Lee Morgan? Yeah,
I think
it was Lee
there
Morgan.
with you. Yeah.
And a French saxophone player, Barney Whalen.
Barley Whalen, right.
And that was the night we had recorded. We had played that night, and that night when I went back to the hotel, that's the night. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I was a knock on my door. We had just finished playing, and I opened the door, and it was Bud Powell standing there.
Yeah.
And all he said to me was, "Play me something." And he came and sat down in a chair. Didn't take off his coat. He had
Right.
the beret on.
Right.
He sat down, and I had my horn on the bed. So I put a towel in there. And living in the hotel was Sonny Chris too.
Oh, yeah? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
The Hotel Cristal, across the street from the Club Saint Germain. And I put the towel on the horn, and I just played the melody of "Dance of the Infidels." Which I always assumed that he wrote or
Yeah, right.
came out of. I just did the melody of it. Then I put the horn down, and he said, and he got up, walked to the door, and it's some stairs going down. And I said, "You all right, Bud?" And he looked at me, and he just kind of smiled, and then he went down the stairs, and I closed the door.
Yeah.
So when they did the movie around midnight, Bertrand Tavernier, the director, wanted to hear about that. They heard about that, so he wanted to get that in the movie sometime. But Bud Powell's daughter Celia was there as a advisor, and she said, Father didn't go to Wayne's room to ask for anything. Because the word was, if Bud disappears, watch out for him. Because they were trying to, he was. So
trying to protect him.
Yeah, said he wasn't going to try to, do anything destructive with himself. Ask for some money to go out and to get ripped and all that. She said, Father they had played that night. And Father went to the room, went to Wayne's room, because he wanted to make sure that everything was going to be all right. And Tavernier said, "So what do you mean all right?" She said, "The future."
Right. That's beautiful.
There's
Well, he heard something in your playing that projected some future. Yeah. It's beautiful.
So and that's the last time I saw him. And the next time. I was in Norway, and he had passed away.
Well, Wayne, that period must have been amazing, man. Like, as you were in the middle of your Miles Davis moment, which was quite an amazing period, documenting all kinds of incredible music and ways of playing together. And today, so many radio broadcast recordings and things are coming out of how free and beautiful you guys were playing together. Being on tour, I was always curious if Coltrane ever heard you guys as a quintet at a festival or somewhere on the road, Because I know you heard Coltrane with Miles.
Mm-hmm.
Had he ever been there in the audience for you when you were with Miles?
When he asked me to come to his house after I left the Army, and we were trading ideas, and he was talking about sound and everything. And what he did was, I would go back to New Jersey, at the end of our sessions together, or forays, having a good time,
Right.
sometimes he'd talk a little bit about philosophy, a little bit. And the phone rang one time, and he asked me if I wanted to play with him on a Monday night at Birdland. I said, yeah. He even took the train over to our house one time, Thanksgiving, to have dinner with us. He just, my mother's cooking and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And this was after he had come to eat and went back, and some days passed. Then he called, to play, and we all played together at Birdland on Monday night at Birdland. And Cannonball had the other group. He was still with Miles, and they were off.
Right.
And while we were playing, Abdul Malik was on the bass, and there was Freddie Hubbard on the trumpet, and Cedar Walton on the piano, and somebody else came in and sat on the piano. And then walked Elvin Jones. And in my mind, I was thinking, that's perfect. I didn't know that was going to be the group. I said, this is perfect. And Elvin Jones took over on the drums.
Right.
The closest, to get to your question, your curiosity about that, not a question, but it's curious.
Mm-hmm.
He said to me, I'm going to leave the Miles Davis. You can have that job if you want to. He said that you can have the gig if you want.
The gig. Yeah, right.
And eventually Miles did call. Now, what I'm hearing, say Wallace Rooney spent a lot of time with Miles before he died.
Right, that last.
And every now and then,
yeah.
Wallace would tell me what Miles was thinking. Then he would also say tell me something that what Miles was thinking, and what Miles knew that Coltrane. I just heard that Train was going to ask me to join his band. But since I went with Miles, Train is a gentleman. He's not going to be that rude and say, I'm leaving Miles.
Right.
And here Miles called me, and he had a thought that,
Yeah, because during that period, other folks were playing with Coltrane, like Archie Shepp and different cats were coming in the group. Mm-hmm. That would have been amazing to hear you like at that period.
Yeah, he wanted some writing too.
Within that.
Yeah, because he wanted to do like bassoons, French horns, all the colors and all that. And it was part of his desire.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what was in Train's diary, but I know he had a diary.
Mm-hmm.
So that's his own. But he had probably many thoughts in there.
And you can only do so much. You're in the moment, and it's all happening. And for me, that period was so incredible to grow up and study and hear and feel. I mean, I never had a chance to see Coltrane's bands, and that period in the 60s. I mean, I graduated high school in 71.
Mm-hmm.
You know? You cats were into the Weather Report in that period when I first heard Miles when the Live Evil record came out.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Keith Jarrett was
now
in the
I get a
band,
picture now.
and Jack DeJohnette and that. But that music and the energy of what you had been doing on Supernova, some of those recordings that led into some of those things, amazing. The spirit and the soulfulness of it, and just that whole spiritual kind of interaction.
Yeah,
Was really
I did an
important.
interview.
So beautiful.
I just did an interview before I left California, and one interviewer from Germany, he said, "It seems like you're continuing now, somewhere from the Plug Nickel days, what was going at the Plug Nickel, and you hit Supernova. So between Plug Nickel and Supernova, there was a detour. I mean, Weather Report was nice and everything, but that was a kind of a detour of so many years of not continuing the flow of the mission.
Right, right.
I call it the mission now. So we when we get together with this band, we call it, are we ready to continue the mission? Let's do the mission. And I said,
Well, it's a real group interplay that you
Yeah.
guys are breathing together and really playing off of what each other's playing, but everybody has their own personal history. You know?
yeah,
And when it comes together, there's some real mystical things that happen.
yeah.
You know?